Hello everyone and welcome to the first official episode of Benji's Survival. So my last video I made was a world tour of this world, so go check that out if you're interested. But to summarize, this is a world I've had for about 3.5 years now. It's a survival world that I started with the intent to make my forever world, and now that I've started making YouTube videos, I want to bring you along for the ride to show you the builds that I make and show you how I continue to build on this world. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Let's go! So in today's episode, I want to do a few things. First off, it is the new 1.21.4 update. So I do want to build a tree farm for that. So we're going to head out there to the pale garden that I have found. And then come back here, build a little tree farm next to the tree farms we have out here. And then once we're done that, I do want to build some custom trees for this area. So as you can see as I'm walking through here, it is looking a little bit flat, and there are a lot of areas for some trees down in this lower area, as well as up in the upper part of the world here. So I want to design some custom trees with you, share my thought process on how I do it, take you through creative, and go through those there. So coming down to my storage room here, we can check out, we go over to the pale logs, we can check out that we do have some pale logs here, which is enough if I want to start the tree farm. We have some up here. However, I also want to build with resin, and as you can see, we only have 2 resin here. So I want to go back to the pale garden. There hasn't been much done to it. I've just kind of built out there, but want to head off to the pale garden, check it out, and get some resin. So now if we make our way towards the nether, we will head on through and out. Head on through, and we will head out to the pale garden. And we'll head out here on the ice boat road. As we enter, we already are greeted with one of our friends here. Let's try and take him out. Yeah. These things are so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah. Where? Oh. I do try and get more resin. But okay. Oh. This is the one thing. Oh. I find annoying with this. Okay. With this biome is I wish other mobs didn't spawn, because it is I die. It is quite annoying. Just have zombies attacking you while you're trying to stare at a different mob. But yeah, as you can see, God, there's so many of them here. I wish I brought a bed, actually. That's one thing I'm missing. Okay. I'd be smart about this. Creeper there? Okay. Alright. Some more. I have silk touch, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Got the creaking hearts. Let's kill this creeper before I forget. Oh, I do have this. Should have a bed in here. Don't. Okay. No. Okay, great. I'm gonna head back, grab a bed, just so we can have it. And yeah. Be right back. Alright, so we've made it back and got a bed. Oh, alright, I'm gonna take all this out. We got a bed and we got a few other things as well. Just because this is an area I want to set up and I want to build. I have a cool idea for the future for this area. I got a bed, got a crafting table and some chests as well that I want to put down. put a few chests down to start, like one chest, and store that in there. And store some of the other random stuff that we just got. Oh. And I got blown up. Wait. But yeah. Should light up this area. Was not expecting that, but that's fine. There's probably some other creepers sneaking about. Yeah, I see there. But let's patch this up, and yeah. I have some cool plans for this area, but I want to give you a nice little view of the area and show you what it's all about, because I think it's quite awesome. I think it's quite a cool spot for this. We have this nice valley with this dark oak forest on the other side, and a part of me really wants to build a bridge from here all the way to the other side, because I think that'll look really cool. Bridge over here. Yeah, so that's in store for the future, but I think this place looks absolutely spectacular. And we can go for a little fly around and check it out as well. There's quite a big pale garden. Stretches all the way out over here. All the way off to the backside, which I actually haven't explored yet, but looking forward to. Yeah. So we're gonna wait for nighttime, and we are going to collect some resin to get for our build. So I think if we were to place this down like this, that. Okay, so that's activated. So this should spawn a creaking. So we'll wait for nighttime to come, and yeah, see how this works. All right, where is this guy? There he is. But I'm just gonna sit here and hit this guy, collect the resin, and yeah, hopefully there'll be enough. All right, so I just end up spending the whole night collecting resin, but yeah, we ended up getting just over 3 stacks for 22 blocks of resin, which honestly is not a lot. I think we're gonna need more than that, but if I do need more, I'll just end up coming back here and grabbing more and letting you guys know. But we're gonna head back, and we're going to get started on the project here. Alright, so coming back to the base here, if we check out this tree farm, I was scoping this out earlier, but if we come up here, I want to build this tree farm up on this ridge here that I'm showing. So I'm gonna have to dig away a bit of it, but I kind of want to do the same setup as I did with the dark oak here. Similar setup, do that, and yeah, see how it goes. But I'm gonna dig away all of that, and then we can start building. All right, so we got a few things here. Set up our little area. It's nice. Got chests, got these, got some shulker boxes too, and a bed. But let's start this time lapse, and let's make a little video. Let's clear out this dirt. Here we go. Alright, so as you can see behind me, we have finished terraforming and carving out the area that we are going to use for this tree farm. I'm quite happy how it turned out. I really like the shading I did. It's one thing I am trying to practice on a bit more, is just using different block palettes, not just to texturize, but to shade. So I used the acacia here for the darker tones, and you can see in the time lapse, I started with the darkest tone, so I started the furthest back. Did all the acacia and then went through with the next darkest tone and kind of lightened it as I came outwards. Yeah, just tried it that way. It seemed to work pretty well. I think this turned out looking pretty good, especially in dark areas like over here. looks really good, especially from far away. So if we were to fly in, check it out. Base looks there. But as we're flying around, we can see, yeah, especially from far away, this looks awesome. The shadows look really cool. Really happy with it. I also decided to set up a beacon. I'm gonna have to start taking down because I didn't want to dig out all this stone without a beacon. Yeah, I have tons of beacons in this world, so there's no problem. But really happy with how it turned out. And now we are going to design the actual tree farm. Alright, so it's been a little bit since the last clip. What I was going to do was I was going to start to map out the area to see where we would fit the farm. But I realized I needed to expand the land a bit. So off camera, I just built a little retaining wall here. So I kept it with the same build palette, except I used a tiled deep slate. But did a little retaining wall. It wraps all the way around here. Yeah, so I think it looks pretty nice. Pretty happy with it. And gives us a lot of real estate to figure out where this farm is going to go. And before we figure that out, I want to see. So this is probably the furthest out I want the farm. Let's see. Here. Give a little bit of a gap between the sides. Yeah, maybe this spot is the furthest out I want the farm. So this is going to be kind of where the barrier goes. Where it's going to go around it. And then I would say here. Oh, let me get some dirt actually. But I want to figure out how close I can grow these trees with the overhang here. So I just want to make sure that this is okay. Push it back here. Yeah, let's bring it back one more. Let's say it goes out this direction. It's not going to be made with stone. I just want to see how it goes with stone and just map it out with stone because it's easy to mine afterwards. Stone there. This would be kind of the way up, and then 2 blocks and right here. Okay, just make sure that if we wanted to, okay, yeah, so this grows no problem. Let's map out this area here real quick. Okay, I just had a really cool idea while I was building that farm. I want to see what this looks like here with a bit of hanging vine. This hanging vine. Used a new block. But I think this is really nice. Adds a little bit of depth, a little something something to the build here. Okay, so grab some shears, and it looks like you do not need to shear these. So these just, you place them and they stay right where they are, which is kind of nice. Really nice for decorating. And then, yeah, all you have to do if you want to grow more, let's find a spot where I want to put it. It's just, but if you want to grow more, all you have to do, place it down. Let's do right here. Just hit it with some bone meal. And yeah, you can see with the shears, it does not grow. But yeah, take a step back. Really like how this turns out. So now that we're ready to build, I'm going to grab the materials and we can get going on this build. Alright, so I've gathered all the resources here that I think we'll need. I haven't really planned this build out. I've thought of a bit of a concept in my head, so I just crafted a few, especially the resin blocks. I'm not sure how many I'll need, or if I'll need or use all of these, but if you try to get resin blocks, they are a pain. But happy to know that when you smelt them and turn them into bricks, it's only a 4x4 instead of, or it's only 4 brick, or 4 ingots instead of 4 or the 9 resin that you need for the resin blocks. So a bit nicer there. That was a nice surprise. Got some open eye blossoms as well to decorate. So we'll get started on the build and see how it goes. Yeah. All right. So I've spent a little bit of time now working on this, and I am quite happy with how it turned out. So let's take a look here. So the outside got little posts of the wood here, the pale oak wood. And then I've stripped wood on the bottom with some trapdoors and some fence gates as well to open it. And then I was trying to find different ways to incorporate the resin, but nothing really worked too well. This block is very orange and very saturated, which is a nice contrast to the pale oak, but it just was clashing a little bit too much. Yeah, so end up just sticking with that because I did want to have a little bit of resin just to show that you get resin in this area as well. And just an ode to it. And then I did place some of the eye blossoms here. And I did learn that they actually do close during the day. I'm guessing they just have a bit of a cooldown in case you put them down in a spot where you don't want them. And yeah, you want to keep them as an open eye or a closed eye blossom. So there's a bit of a cooldown there. So they do close eventually. So fortunate or unfortunate, that's for you to decide. But let's take a step back and take a look at how it turned out. I'm quite happy with how it looked from far away. Adds a nice new leaf tone here as well. Yeah, really happy with it. Really like the cliff in the background. It looks like it all kind of meshes in well and blends in here. So yeah, I am gonna just spend a little bit of time adding a few trees here. Just gonna do like the classic Minecraft tree. I'm gonna build some custom trees next, but in different areas. But just here, I'm just gonna stick with the classic Minecraft tree because if I end up doing custom trees everywhere in this world, it's just gonna take forever. And there's other projects that I'd rather put effort and time into. So gonna place some of those down, and then we'll be right back. So I just spent some time adding some trees and adding some grass to the landscape above, and I'm thinking it looks a lot better now. So if we fly around here, got just some classic Minecraft trees fill in the background here. I added more spruce. I'm waiting for it to snow or rain to get some snow layers on top of these. I might have to put some myself on here, just because they're not actually in a snowy biome. I extended the snow a bit further. But what I want to do now is, in these blank spaces, I do want to start building some custom trees to kind of finish in this area. In this snowy area here, add some custom spruce trees there. I might put one here, and then leading in back here, I'm not sure if I want to do any here. I might add a couple later once we start working on this. But add a few here and spread out, sprinkled around here. Leave this kind of grove here. And then I want to add some oak trees. I want to add maybe one here. Think I want to keep this blank just because I really like the view of this from down here. It looks really nice, and covering it with a tree might mess it up a little bit, but definitely want to add a tree here, add a tree or two here, oak trees there, and maybe one here as well, and yeah, maybe a few other spots. And then also I want to add a few of these custom birch trees I made. I did make these when I started learning how to make trees, so they do have a lot of bushes on them. They aren't my absolute favorite. I do think they look all right, and they're really easy to like pop in. So I want to clear a little bit of this area here, just where this birch forest is, clear a little bit of it, and add maybe like 5 or 6 here. Yeah, and maybe up there, probably not yet at least. We'll see about that as we continue this world. Maybe I'll throw in a tree there when I'm bored, or if I feel motivated or think it needs a tree. But yeah, let's pop into creative world and I'll talk you through my tree making process. All right, so popping over to the creative world that I used to build some ideas, as you can see around me. A few ideas I've kind of sprung up for the world, but never any complete builds, just some testing, except for that. But we have one of these birch trees here that I created. So it starts simple. It starts with, used oak fence for this one. but just an oak fence straight up and added a few trees on the side. So when I'm building it in survival, let's build it. I tend to build it in survival. Okay. Start here. Build in survival. Add a branch every so often. Go up a couple. Maybe add another branch there. Go up some more. And add a branch up here. Now these are really narrow trees, so you don't want to add too much to them. But yeah. And just start adding leaves as you go up. So not super thick at the bottom, but keep building them up. And yeah, get this nice tree. Not super polished, but get the picture. Yeah, really quick to make. Could probably make one every 2 or 3 minutes in survival. But I like to start with the stem first, adding the branches as I go up, and then drop down to the lowest and kind of staircase myself around, and then go back with any finishing touches. Moving over here, these ones have a lot wider of a base. It's not so narrow, so it's usually a few blocks out. So start with a nice little base here. Maybe it wants to like that, and then maybe grab some oak fences. Already have oak fences. Start there and maybe work our way. We want a couple branches. Now these aren't going to be very big trees, especially in the space, but I like to have a lot of direction with them. So have one that maybe comes out off to the side like that. One out there, and then maybe one that goes like that. You add fences here. So let's add a fence or two somewhere. Add a fence down here and there. Have it connect up. Maybe one out here and one down here. So we have a nice trunk to go off of, and then just start placing. All right, so this tree here, it's not perfect. I just spent a few seconds working on it. But as you can see, it's just a lot of adding and removing blocks. And it's really nice when you're in creative to just get the hang of it. Not even like, I'm not going to ever take this tree and copy it one for one. Like remember where each block placement goes. But just remember the flow of it. Because every tree in the world is unique. And so every tree in Minecraft that you build doesn't necessarily have to be unique. But it's always nice to have a bit of variation, have each tree look a little different, because that's what it is in real life. You never have two identical trees. So just more using creative to get the style of it, the flow of it, how you like it, how bushy you like it, how much negative space with the empty blocks you get versus how much green space you use. And then yeah, you can also come in like I did over here and use some stairs and use some other blocks to kind of smooth some curves. But just with this rough draft here, this rough kind of outline here, get this nice looking tree. And also exposing some branches as well gives it a lot of depth, makes it look really nice. And then you can always come in, just throw a leaf wherever you might see fit. But yeah, super happy with how this turned out in this short time. All right, and moving on to the last tree here. So with this tree, again, always starting with the base. I like to go up. I like to make these quite tall. I think these look a lot better when they're taller. And you can go as tall as you want. I usually like to add 3 of these on the top. And then come down. And I usually do this the same as I did the birch earlier, but add the branches as you go along. Once you're happy with the branch branch here. Add one here. Why not? Once you're happy with it, go in. You can take the leaf block that you. On this one, I did a bit of acacia or birch as well. Kind of do lighter leaves on the outside and give texture. But you can come in. I usually start at the front, and then you kind of just play around with and up as you go. Yeah, gonna work on this for a little bit, and then I'll be right back. And yeah, just always going through with a bit of a fine-tooth comb, changing things, adjusting things. If we take a step back here, you can see that tree looks good so far. There's a few blank spots that I would add, but that I could add to. But when I'm doing this in survival, oftentimes like I'll work from the bottom up, adding the leaves, and by the time I get to the top, say I'm standing right here, I'll just head into cam and use my free cam to kind of see, okay, like maybe I want to add a little bit of depth here, look around, okay, it's missing a bit in here. Does that look, yeah, it looks like it could use a bit filled in. Same with over here. So I'll come over and I'll slowly try and figure out, okay, where am I in? Okay, need to go down the next branch, like right here. And I'll come down in survival, maybe add something like that. Give it some width as well here. Even add one of those. Give it some, make it come out further. Add another branch there. Maybe one more there. And yeah, just kind of work your way around. Go get back into free cam mode again. Okay, already looks a lot better there. But this again, still needs a bit of work. Maybe I'll add something like that. Remove that block just to keep some negative space. And even that change helps. I might climb up. Nice thing about a lot of these trees, they are almost parkourable. But could add add something like that to it, and boom, look at that. That looks really good. Super happy with that tree. Could spend a bit more time editing it. Good, but yeah, you get this nice kind of pine sprucey here. But yeah, you can already see this tree as opposed to this tree is a lot better, and that's just because I started with this tree and then I built about 16 or 20 of them like this, slowly working on it, making it better, and then they started looking more like this, which I think looks a lot better. But yeah, you can just see the difference between 20 trees. Building 20 trees by myself makes is something like this, which looks not so great, to something that I am actually quite proud of. But yeah, so let's jump back into the world, and I'm gonna make these trees and show them off to you. Alright, so after many trees and many leaves placed, we have finally covered our entire base with the custom trees. So up ahead, added all of these extra birch trees here, which I think kind of just tie everything in together. It adds the birch trees from this side all the way to this side and kind of flows through instead of just having the standard Minecraft trees there. And now we added custom oak trees all around this area here. Custom oak trees all up here, all around, and they wrap all the way around here. Just to tie in this area as well and give it some verticality, because it was very flat. It seemed very, almost like, not deserty because it's a bunch of grass, but it's very dry and arid. And so these trees give it some nice lush vertical height to the area. Because otherwise it was just some short grass around everywhere. And now if we come all the way around up to the upper part of the base, we can see we are greeted with a much nicer entrance to the top part here, with a bunch of tall spruce trees all around here. And this took me quite a while to place all of them. It's probably about 15 of them here, but as we walk through here, you can see all these trees look quite nice. And I did try and let it snow while I was building. It made it a little more difficult to build, but I wanted to get the snow on here as much as possible. So you can see the trees that I kind of did last don't have much snow on it. These somewhat do, but then I was kind of working on these earlier and they're all covered with snow wherever possible. Overall, very happy with the build, very happy with how it turned out, and just liking where my base is at now. Maybe I'll build a few more trees over time, just where I see fit. But right now, I'm pretty treed out, so I'm going to end it there. Yeah. So this is going to end the first official episode of my Forever Survival World. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you made it this far, please hit the like button. Leave a comment on what your favorite part of the episode was, any improvements maybe, or what you might want to see in the future. And hit the subscribe button to stay up to date and yeah, see all the next videos coming, because I want to try and post about a video a week. So yeah, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.